Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today's gonna be a pretty quick little video. I'm going to review this little helicopter from DRC. Just be a quick kind of dirty review, just get it here, let you guys see the components, and then we'll take it outside and try to fly it around in the garage where we have enough room, because it's a little bit big for indoors, but outdoors it's not gonna be able to handle much wind until there's a decent amount of wind outside today. So this is the SQN 040. It has some lighting and basically a blue light on the nose of the helicopter. One key landing and startup, low battery alarm. It says 3 speed modes here, but there's actually just 2. So that is incorrect on the box. I don't think there's anything else on here. Basically the same kind of stuff, altitude hold, body light, stuff like that. So of course here is the helicopter. It's a military style helicopter. Again, there's a little blue light here in the nose. It's got some fake, machine guns and stuff on it. It's your basic balance bar. It's going to be pretty easy to fly with this little guy, but it's not super agile. It doesn't, you can't like roll or anything with it. It's just real basic with a yaw axis to turn, and then you just go forward and back or up and down. Decent little controller. You got your 2 speed rates. You can even see a 2 there. So the box is wrong. 2 between 1 and 2 beeps, and then I think you get long press so you can turn that blue light on and off. Off to the right, you have your auto takeoff and landing. Then just your throttle to go up and down. And then over here on the right, it's going to be your forward and back, and then your right and left yaw axis. Here's some trims here in case the helicopter would be spinning slightly on the yaw axis. You can trim that. Of course, mine wasn't. And then your on and off switch on the bottom. I think it takes some AAA batteries in the back. Now you get 2 batteries with this. These are 1S LiPos, and they are 450 milliamp hour on these. And the other one I have already installed on the bottom. You just slide it, snap it off. You can see the lock, unlock. Real basic. They give you some extra propellers, a USB-C charging cable for the batteries. And then of course here is the instruction manual for this little helicopter. Pretty basic. We don't need to go over it. So let's get this out into the garage and let's take it for a short test flight. Okay, so let's take the little DRC helicopter here and just fly it around in my garage. Just get an idea how it flies. It can't handle a lot of wind, and there is pretty good gusts of wind today. So the garage here is the kind of the biggest area I have that I can fly it in without a lot of obstruction. So I'm going to walk over this way and we'll get the glare behind my back. And we'll try to fly it around here and see how this little guy does. So we'll use the auto takeoff first. So I already have it bound with the controller. And let's just go ahead and do an auto takeoff. Pretty basic controls. We're in the lowest rate. You see it's really stable. Just press down. On the right stick will move backwards. Forward will move forward. The right and left on the right stick does your yaw, and then your left is just your throttle to go up and down is all it does. So it's not super agile because of the limited controls, but it's much better for a beginner. So this is just a beginner rate. You can see going full throttle back, it doesn't move a whole lot. Let's go ahead and just press the left speed rate. Now we got 2 beats. So if I do it again, we go back to 1. So the box was wrong saying it had 2 speed rates. The yaw axis there is much quicker, much more agile now. Just gonna bring it back down. So it does have altitude hold. It should keep its altitude pretty good as long as there's no wind gusts. That can mess it up. So it's best to fly this indoors. Like I said, it's a little big, so you need an open area to fly it in, like a garage. Of course, on a very calm day, no issues flying it outside, but if there's any wind gusts, it's just not going to be able to handle that. It's going to blow off a ways from you, and that's going to make it difficult. Let's just fly it around now. Enough jibber jabbering. Looks pretty cool, and it's super easy to fly. So it's gained a little altitude, and of course I've not given it any throttle. Now it's dropped down, so it's not going to stay perfectly at the same altitude. You can see the little rear propeller. When you give it forward thrust, it spins to help as the helicopter pitches forward. to help move it. And then bring it a little closer here over my head cam. Let's go over here and we're out of the glare. Because when I'm over here close to the edge of the garage, when a wind gust comes, it'll move it. And there's that little blue light right there in the nose. And you can turn that off if I long press. You see the light went out there. I mean, that uses so little power that it's not like you're going to save a bunch of battery power by turning it off. So I'm going to turn it back on. I kind of like the look of it. I see no reason to turn it off. That's pretty much it. You see, it's just a basic little house, garage, flyer, outdoors when it's calm. Let's do an auto landing. Let's take it over. Well, we can do it in the garage. I was going to try to land on top of the freezer there. We probably could. Let's see how it works over here. If I can get it closer. Let's back it up and do an auto landing. Oh, that's gonna make it to the ground. It is hard to keep it in one spot. So as you're backing up, I've hit the auto landing, and it moved some. So let's go to auto takeoff again. I want to try that again. Doesn't have to be facing towards me, but shouldn't be that hard to land it. Let's take it forward here. Just don't want to hit the, let's just take it over here and take it off again. Got a lot of cobwebs on my fingers now reaching down in there. I don't know, I thought I heard a beep. Let's just do a landing here where it's nice and open. Now the nose cone light's flashing. Let's see, does that mean it's landing? I think so. I'm just curious, when we get the low battery, will we get a flashing blue light? Is there any audible beep from the controller? I don't know. Let's go ahead and do a manual takeoff. To do that, you're just going to give it throttle, and then go ahead and give it throttle again. Real simple. But yeah, you're going to crash these little helicopters because you don't have, it's not quick. You can see the move. That's full pitch forward, and that's in the highest rate. Yeah. So when you get close to a wall and you back up, see, it doesn't, there it went okay, but other times it doesn't. So it's easy to bump into a wall or something, because it shouldn't be easy to land over here. But on two attempts, I haven't been able to do it. Let's try it again. Land, land, land. There we go. That time it worked. Let's just keep flying. I want to see what we get, what kind of notice we get on low voltage, because we haven't done a whole lot of aggressive flying. Not that you can get too aggressive at this, but just curious what it does. Hi, Bren. Yep, it's a helicopter. Yeah, it's a nice little flyer. Probably do here if it's getting really repetitive, so I may just skip forward to the end of the flight to see what it does. It's a real nice little flyer here. This is a excellent little helicopter. You still see some of those cobwebs that are stuck on there where I crashed it back there a while ago. I don't know, if I didn't include the crash in the video, it's just because I was trying to land it. Sometimes I edit out some of that just to shorten the video. But yeah, I'm still waiting for the low voltage alarm here. I've probably edited out some of the flight there just because it's really repetitive, but yeah, it looks really cool. Definitely something, someone in the military stuff or someone that likes RC helicopters, they want something to fly around the house on a rainy day. This would be great. Or maybe just a teenager, someone looking for their first kind of remote control RC that flies. this would be a good choice as well. Yeah, we're sitting a nice flight time here. I don't know what we've gotten so far. I'm not timing it, but it's doing pretty good. Blue light's still solid, so I would assume that would flash at low voltage. Of course, if you have it turned on. It may not, but it ought to give you some sort of warning, so it could be an audible beep or something. Usually it'll come from the controller. There's a little wind coming in here at times, and you can see it kind of fight it, even though it's not much. Little wind that gets sucked into the garage, and it'll, probably some wind that goes through around the door here, and it just pulls it through the garage, and it fights it. So it definitely is not going to be a good flyer in any kind of windy conditions at all. It just doesn't have the power, the pitch, the forward momentum. It can't go fast enough forward to fight any kind of breeze, or backwards either. But yeah, the flight time on this thing is crazy. But it still looks like we still don't have a low voltage alarm. But I tell you what, guys, this thing is just getting a crazy long flight time. I don't know how long I've flown it here. It's got to be well over 10 minutes. And it's still going. So I'm just going to go ahead and land it here so we don't make this video too long, but it's really, really impressive in the flight time on this. You can just kind of grab it right out of the air there. Here, it really fighting me. Let's see if I go to auto landing, can I get it to land in my hand? Yeah. And there it goes. The gyro kind of detected it reached the ground, which was my hand. Now, if this was a brushless or something much more powerful, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But these props would sting a little if they hit your hand, but they're not going to cut you open or hurt you. But yeah, you can land it in your hand there if you have a little practice and you want to try. But obviously, I wouldn't do that too much if you're worried about it hurting your, stinging and hitting your hands. Anyway, that wraps up the review of the little DEERC helicopter. I don't remember the actual model name. It was quite long. I don't think this matches it, but I'm not sure. It was on the box. But yeah, this is a nice little flyer. Definitely great for someone who's just getting into the hobby, or someone who might be a military enthusiast that likes military stuff. They might also enjoy this. If you're interested in this, there'll be a purchase link down to this in the video description to Amazon. It's been very affordable and always, easy to buy from Amazon here in the United States or in UK or Australia. So if you're new to the channel, you like stuff like this, RC, drones, RC cars, boats, and sometimes stuff with real cars and tech, then stay tuned to the channel. Please be sure you subscribe to it. While you're at it, click that bell. Let me be notified when I do upload a new video. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.